just want to take a second and define the word mobility for you. And more importantly, define how maybe mobility is different than your traditional understanding of the word stretching. So when we look at mobility, what we're really saying is that there are two components to it. The first is, does my body have the raw biomechanics? Does it have the ability to achieve the shapes that are native to human beings? What is normative? What is full capacity? What is full and typical range of motion across the human? Second is, do I have the skill to express those positions? So you're not just a, unanimated bag of meat. More importantly, that there's a technique and a motor control or movement control that controls these tissue systems. So when we're talking about mobility, we're asking two things. One is, do I know what I'm supposed to do? Does my brain understand what great shapes are and good technique is? And secondarily, can I even get into that shape? So sometimes when we have hypermobile athletes or people who are really kind of very flexible, for lack of a better word, it's easy for them to adopt some of these basic shapes. And for those people, we really focus on the skill. How do we put them into the most stable positions? How do we create stiffness and control? For a lot of us, we're just stiff, and we're trying to do the right thing using the technique that our coaches or teachers are teaching us, and yet we just can't achieve that position. And that is shorthand for, hey, I have a soft tissue restriction. So when we use the word stretching, and the reason we specifically don't use this word stretching is, one, is we know that humans are smart enough to do things that work. So if stretching would have cured all of our ails as a movement culture or our musculoskeletal problems, we would all still be stretching. And the problem with stretching traditionally is that it means I just pull passively on my tissues, and I feel tension there, so I think I'm doing something. But what's wrong about that is that one is we're not really getting the brain involved with the process, and two, we're not taking a systems approach, because sometimes there's more than one component that may be limiting my ability to move. And for us, that may be how my tissues are sliding, that may be how my brain is interacting with my musculature, it may even be this bag of connective tissue that surrounds and creates the joint. So when we start taking a systematic approach to restoring our movement and improving our movement capacity, this, in shorthand, is mobility. Map that with a little bit of technique, and now you can see why mobility is different than stretching.